Hello, this is my first YouTube live. Trying to figure it out. I'm painting this watercolor. Oh, that's watercolor. This is a acrylic on canvas, on watercolor paper is what it is. A little outside my norm. I normally do, my name is Patty Sue here, Vicknair. And I normally paint acrylics on canvas, but this one I wanted to paint on paper. Don't know why. Just called to me that way. So, has a lot of iridescence in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I like iridescence. I like glitter and I like iridescence. So my work has a tendency to have clowns, to have carousel horses, to have horses, to have, well, that's basically like farm animals, things like that. Anything that sparks my interest, flowers, but something I can add a little bling to. As you can probably see just a little bit by some of the artwork around the room. So anyway, thought I would just share. What I'm doing right now is I just got back from eating dinner. Oops. Just dumping my paintbrushes in my paint because that's part of what I do. Get that off of there. Save my paint, save my paint. You always have lots and lots of brushes and lots of paper towels around because I gotta wipe my brushes off. I almost quite regularly dump them in the paint. So I have a little stand. Where's my little stand? It's supposed to help with that. Put my brushes on. Plus I can stand them up in my water, I guess. But then I have to reach all the way over there to get them. So I'll just put them on the stand. That's supposed to help me keep them from flying off. Or with a pencil. Anyway, my little stand. There it is. There's my water. Here's my paints, what I'm using right now. There's my carousel horse. Gotta get this up here high enough and straight enough so you're not at an angle, I guess. Hello. Hello, leave me a comment. I'm always looking for people to meet and greet. Always looking for new friends. All right. I don't know if in YouTube videos you can play music or not. I know on the TikTok lives and stuff like that, people are playing their Amazon in the background, which I have one. I can play my Alexa, but I don't know if you can do that on YouTube without getting a violation, so I'm not going to do it. I don't want to get a violation. Okay. Doesn't take much to make a big difference when you're dealing with a lot of color. Doesn't look like I'm doing much. When you step back though, it looks like you can really see it at that point. I used to paint Facebook Live a lot, but Facebook's kind of messed me up a little bit, so I don't want to give them the business. Does that speak right? Hello, Big Mama 07. Oh, thank you, Josie. Hello, Josie. So, anyway, as we continue on. Oh, I was going to work on flowers. That's what I came back from my dinner. I was going to work on my flowers. So, these roses, I'm never the best at doing roses, but I'm going to try. I did get out some reds, so, because I was painting them earlier, I had painted 8 to about 9. Then I had to do dishes and all that kind of stuff, so now it's almost midnight and I'm back out here. So, well, it needs to be darker than that. Nope, darker than that. Better. And this is that part right there. And then we have another little dark section over here. Any more questions? If you don't mind, if you'd like me and follow me, I'd appreciate it, because I'm trying to very slowly build my social media up. I've been doing a few TikTok lives, but people stop in, but they don't say anything. And they move on. I guess they're just flipping through. Which is about what I do on TikTok too, so I guess that's right. But you got to start somewhere, don't you? I will say I'm used to doing acrylic on canvas, and it is a little bit different doing it on paper. I've painted just small things on paper before with it, but I've never done anything this big on watercolor paper that wasn't watercolored. I do this size for watercolor a lot. That one's this size, that one's this size, that one up there is this size, that one there. That's about it. It's hanging up in here. But I don't really paint acrylics this size. Acrylics, if I'm going to do acrylics, I'm usually going to do them on a canvas. Like the canvas I just finished with some horses. That one I did a couple days ago. I finished it. It was, it's 30 by 24. So, good size. Lots to cover. But it's a little bit different painting on paper instead of on canvas. One thing you can keep in mind about acrylics is if I mess up, I can always paint over it and try again. The gold got into my paint. Not totally against it. awful quiet without music. I painted an entire clown room on, oh, thank you. Tristan Woods, thank you. And hi. I painted an entire clown room, one of my art studio in our big house. Since I do a lot of circus clowns, it was an upstairs attic kind of, you know, bonus room over the garage. And it had the ceiling that slanted a little bit, 6 foot or 8 foot ceilings, but, you know, slanted on the sides a little bit with a 6 foot door on each side to get to the attic. And so I did the red and white striped tent, and I did circus medallion around the fan, and I did elephants that were my balloon sales team in one corner, baby elephants, and then I had balloons above their head, and then I did a monkey on top of a door who cut a hole in the tent so you could see outside where the ceiling on the inside corner of the ceiling did something different. So I did that, and then had a little monkey, a monkey on top of the door with a pair of scissors, and a little clown down the ground trying to coax him down with a banana. And then on the opposite wall, the far wall, I did a clown alley. And a clown alley is a bunch of clowns get together that pose for a photo. And so I had 24 clowns on that wall, about life size. It took me 2 years to paint the room. It was a lot, but I enjoyed it. And I painted that almost all live on Facebook. And that is when I learned the issue with the them calling you out for, I played music, and I played different things on the TV. Like I would have a TV show playing on my TV, and while I was painting, and it was always just background stuff, but they got me for all kinds of copyright thing. I had to block that all out, and I was like, it's just not worth the hassle, you know. I had the radio playing a couple times, and they called me for all the songs that were on the radio. I was just like, well, you know, I pointed out to them, I said, this is just background stuff. I'm not making money off of any of this. I'm not making any money on this. I'm not monopolizing it. It's just background music while I'm painting. And they were like, nope, you can't do that. You can't sell it. You can't do that. I was, I'm not selling anything. I'm just painting. And I'm like, no, copyright infringement. All right, fine. So now I'm running scared from doing any kind of music while I don't know, people on TikTok, they have music going all the time. And I'm assuming if it's live, it's a little bit different. I don't know. But I don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk it at all. And then we're going to have some pink in there. Oh, pink, 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 pink. This pink is kind of thick. So I'll go with this pink. I'm muted, but okay. Hello. I don't know who you are, but hello. Stop in and say hi. I'm trying to build my clientele of people that are online, so thought I'd give this a shot. See how Facebook does it, or how YouTube does it. I know how Facebook does it. Well, if you get a chance, please like and share if you can, but like it for sure. This right here does not do that. There's a fatter section right there. So let's make it fatter. Some of my roses being very flat compared to what it's supposed to be. So I think we'll need to make it bigger. I think this was part of the rose and I miscalled it. And then we can make it fatter over there. More rounded. More rounded. Like that. And then down here. And then down here we're gonna have a big old section. Look at that dark. And then right here. Still not there. I want to be a little bit more. It's my rose. I can do whatever I want with it again. Needs to be fat over here. There's more of the round face that I'm looking for. Roundness that I'm looking for. Take this out. I think that's too dark. I got a moth in here. Attracted to my lights, I think. Had the door open. It's pretty nice out tonight. Land somewhere so I can get you out of here. I wouldn't suggest you land on any of my lights. They're kind of hot. Oh, Heidi, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. And hello. I'm just painting for fun. I mean, I'd like to sell them, but I sell every now and then. But I don't pursue it, so, you know, if you don't pursue it, you don't sell much. Oh, too much white. Too much white. Too much white. Slowly but surely, maybe your little rose is coming to life here. My image that I'm looking at is kind of blurry, so I'm trying to add the shadows in the right places. Just a hint. It's beginning to look better. I'm not so sure I like this dark side, although my image has a dark side like that, but I'm not so sure I like it. I definitely think this needs to be over here more. And up underneath there. Make that stand out more. Oh, I think I need to go up more. I think this is down too far. Let's take it up a little bit. Hello? (9719) hello. Heidi, hello. I don't know who else is in here. If anybody. I'm a Dr. Pepper Zero drinker. Especially when I'm painting. And tea. I have iced tea over here also. Okay, now back to the mouth area. I don't like that. It's too bright. There we go. Tone it down a little bit. Or did it look better dark? No, I don't think it did. It was too dark. It was this one here. But I don't mind putting some of that in there. I just need it to be a little bit lighter in tone. Okay. Don't watch my hand. I'll put it right in the rose when it's not dry yet. Probably best to paint somewhere else. How about this little bitty guy over here? My image is just a white thing. It's not even got any color on it yet. Make it pink, pinkish. Maybe a little bit of green on it. Got this wonderful green. Where's my green? Let's try it out. Put my green back. A little bit of green on it. Let's see the inside of that little, I'd like it to be, it's gotta be darker, but it can't be hugely dark. Hello. Hi, Lori. Well, part of half this hassle with painting and learning to paint is just getting the paints and doing it. I've been doing it for 45 years now. So, but I'm very picky. I don't do commissions. I do some clown commissions, but other than that, I don't do paintings for other people because I just do it in my spare time when I enjoy it, and I paint what interests me. So I like color. I like happy images. I'm not very much into landscapes unless they're colorful. I do a lot of clowns because I like the sweet, happy expression. I don't do any crazy, scary clowns at all. Actually, I'm one of the premier clown painters in the world. And I have a commission list probably 2 or 3 years long, but I haven't applied myself to that lately. I need to. I love carousel horses because they're colorful and I don't have to follow exactly the design. I can do whatever I want. And I like animals because I can play with colors with that too. And I like flowers, sometimes flowers. But I do a lot of horses and things like that, but always colorful. That's one thing you'll notice about my stuff. It's always colorful and bright and colorful and cheerful and happy. Happy clowns, happy horses, happy carousel horses, happy. And you can always see the sparkle in the eyes of whatever I paint. Right now I'm basically blocking in color. I've done some detail work up in here, not much. Blocking in color on the roses. I'll do a lot more detail up here. I just kind of block that in. And I'll do more detail on this thing. It's going to be more gold. And gotta make this look more, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to make it look more. And then I got a few more shadows and stuff to do on the horse. And then I got to come up with a design, something to put in. Oops, don't go. Something to put in here, maybe. I might use my pens for that. As you can tell, I have a lot. I have every paint and pen and whatever. I have no kids, and my husband has expensive hobbies where he goes fishing on his boats and goes hunting and buys all the equipment he needs. So I, of course, get to spend what I want on art. So we did have a bigger house. We moved back to our smaller house, and in order to have room for my art, I have my own shed in the backyard. So I have a she shed, or my art shack. And it's a 16 by 10 shack. And, well, it's a 16 by shed metal shed with 2 lofts. And I've got it completely full. Got lighting, heating, air conditioning, you name it, I got it. Anyway, that's where I disappear to. And he texts me when he wants to see me. Pretty much self-taught. Yeah, look online, look on YouTube. There's all kinds of training on YouTube for pretty much anything you want to do. And people are pretty good about sharing. But the biggest hassle or the biggest thing to do is just to get it, to go get the supplies, get the stuff, set aside an area in your house or somewhere that you can actually paint and get away from everything. Because if you put it where you have to put it up every night, or put it up to get it out of the way, the odds of you getting it back out to work on it on a daily basis or on a regular basis is kind of slim. There's always something going to get in the way. There's going to be laundry. There's going to be dishes. There's going to be putting kids to bed. There's going to be whatever it is you have in your life that interferes with you being able to paint is going to interfere. And then you're going to be tired. And you're not going to want to. Then you're going to spend time with your spouse if you have a spouse. So, I mean, you have to set aside time. So, I've got 3 days off a week. So, my husband does his thing, I do my thing. We work with each other on Thursday and Friday. He works in a hospital on Saturday and Sunday. He's getting ready to retire from that eventually. And then we're with each other the rest of the time. So, I see him constantly. So, it's not like I have to set aside time to especially spend with him. He's more like, get out of my hair. We've been married 31 years. Or 32 years, I guess now it is. January 3rd was 32 years. And so, you know, I come off and do my own little thing. He's in the house working on stuff on his own. He's trying to learn investing, and he likes to study, so he's studying. And things like that, you know. We'll meet in bed. That's the way it goes. I don't know that I'd invest in classes. I think I would explore 3J. I would explore what YouTube has to offer before you start investing to make sure you're definitely interested. I would get you, you could buy sets. So buy a nice, depending on what kind of paint you want to do, but buy a nice set. Like mid-range, not a starter set, but maybe a mid-range set. Don't go really high end. Example would be you can buy some watercolor is a great thing to do, but it's hard to paint. A lot of people are intimidated by watercolor. But I paint watercolor all the time. I'll show you an example. See those two clowns up there? Those are watercolors. See that boat? That's a watercolor. That clown up there, that's a watercolor. The images below it are all watercolors. The clowns on the bench are watercolors. So I paint vibrant watercolors. I'll turn this around so you can see. On my other wall, that's an acrylic. So bold and bright and beautiful and happy. And then this is an acrylic carousel horse called Jewel Tones. And these are all watercolors. Well, those are actually prints of the watercolors, but they're watercolors. So don't let the medium intimidate you. Make it your bitch. And get in there and just start playing with it. And plan on not selling and plan on messing up, because that's how you learn. Don't plan on doing something immediately that you're going to sell or immediately you're doing for somebody, because what you'll find is that you'll be so stressed that you're going to make a mistake that you won't enjoy it. So what I would suggest is take a big piece of paper if you're going to do watercolor, or if you're going to do, even if you did acrylics on paper. If you take this and divide it into 4 separate things and do the same image in each one, just sketch them in so they're the same image in each one, and then start playing with the paint. And you'll get better. You know, start with the first one, then go to the second one, next one, and next. You'll get better as you go along, and you'll be able to see a transition of, oh, you learned something there. That was cool. And you'll know what your paint can do. But in this day and age, there is tons of paints out there. I mostly paint in acrylic and watercolor. That's my favorite. I learned in watercolor when I was a kid. So watercolor is my first natural. So this I'm painting acrylic, but I'm painting in watercolor techniques. So that's my little thing. That's what I do. And then the pens and all the pens that people have got that I just got some new ones. I got some watercolor pen markers. I already had a set, but I got a new set. And then these are alcohol ink markers by Dick Blick. That was my Valentine's gift. I got markers for my Valentine's gift because my husband's very sweet. He got me a gift card to Dick Blick. I'll have to work them into my markers. I haven't worked them in yet. I just got them. But learn your mediums, figure out what you like, what you can do with them, and then just keep in mind that there's always more stuff out there, but I wouldn't really invest a lot of money into it until I would stick with paper to start, or maybe the cheaper canvases you can buy at Walmart. They've got some nice little canvases that you can pick up at Walmart for $6, $7, $8, somewhere there. Just to work with, to play with. And I can get a couple of them for like $5 or $6. I think I bought a few just so I have something to mess with if I want to tweak with something. So I have some new mediums that I haven't played with yet, so I want to have something that I don't care. I don't want to play on a canvas that cost me $100, you know. I want to play on something that cost me $6, and I don't care if I mess it up that way, because you know, until you learn your new medium, you're gonna make mistakes. But one thing about paint is you can always paint over it. So on paper, it's a little harder. On paper, it's best to start with a new page. But if you really mess up a small area, there's a thing called watercolor ground that you can paint in an area. If you mess something up, that will, yes, I sell sorghum. I don't aggressively pursue selling. I sell to people who just desperately want my work and approach me. But, because I just do it for fun. But I have sold over the years, yes, I sell. I'm quite high priced, actually. I do sell my clowns to the clowns themselves. They commission it. And then I do some clowns just because I have to do them. I want to do them. And I get permission from all the clowns. So there's something you need to know about clowns. Clowns are not just, pick a clown and do it. Clowns are trademarked. They are individual. You have to paint the portrait of the person, and then you have to put the paint on the person to specifically match how and the colors that clown does it, because each clown's paint job is unique and trademarked. So you have to get their permission. So everybody I paint has got permission for them. They all give me permission to paint, and then if I sell one of their works, I give them 25% of the sale. So, I do sell a lot. Not a lot, but a lot. Over the years, I don't do commission, unless it's an image I really am just desperately wanting to paint, and my heart's going, please let me paint it. This was got an image over here on my iPad. This was a picture I took of a carousel horse that I played with, and then finally got something that I just felt like I had to paint. So I've got over here on my iPad, I've got 3 or 4 versions of it. So I just kind of flip through them to figure out, okay, for this little area right here, I want to use this. And then, oh, you're welcome, 3J. I want to encourage you, get out there and do it. The more you play with it, the better you'll get. I know I make it look simple, but I've been painting for 45 years or more. I think I started when I was 6. I'm 59. So, been doing it a while. As far as things you can buy, I would say get you, Walmart actually is not bad. Hobby Lobby, Michaels, they all have mid-range paints that are not bad. If you want to do watercolor, a really good thing to do would be the packages that have the blocks in them, because watercolor is unique in that you can just get it wet and you can paint, and then you go right back to it. You don't have to you can just rinse your brush out. You don't have to wash it or anything. Acrylic is more of a polymer. It's plastic, so you have to, once you put it down, it dries, it doesn't move. Watercolor, you can go on top of it and paint with water and get it to change and add more layers and stuff like that. But it's a skill to do that. Watercolor intimidates a lot of people because once you put it down, it doesn't stay. If you put more water on it, it's not going to stay. So you really have to be unique in understanding how it works and mess with it. But I would say watercolor or acrylic is a great way to start. I've done some oils. I'm not a fan of oils. I paint so fast that oils to me takes way too long to dry. I've got one over there that I started using some, I bought some, it's water-soluble oils, and I haven't yet to really learn how to use it. There's all kind of painting over there. I'm kind of I've got the background kind of done, but I'm waiting for it to dry forever. And it's not doing it. So I don't know if I did something wrong or what, but anyway, it's taking forever. And, but I'll get in there and work on that at some point. And but I'm not a fan of oils big time. I mean, people love them. They do, because they go, oh, you can work it, and you can work it, and you can work. I'm like, I'm more precise when I put the paint down. That's where it's going to be. I'm not going to go back in and rework it and rework it. I do a little bit on this, but not a huge amount. I mean, I may mess with stuff and highlights and shadows and add more and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to go back and totally rework the whole thing, trying to get the image. I pretty much have it in my head what it's going to look like before I start, so I know where I'm headed. And if I'm headed in that direction, I'm not going to be reworking it. So to me, being able to move efficiently and fast and get it done, I started this Monday. So this is a couple of days worth, probably, evenings worth of work. Not bad. But I have fun. This is what I do for fun. I work some image on my computer until it reaches the point that I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta paint that. It's just calling to me. And I get in there and I start painting it, and I enjoy it. I have a good time with it. And this is relaxing to me. 3 hours can pass without nothing. I mean, I'm sure I'll be painting till 3 in the morning. It's already 1 in the morning. And then I'll go, oh shoot, I gotta stop. And I do have to get up tomorrow. I don't have to get up really early, but I do have to get up. I have some things I need to do, and I got PT because I had shoulder surgery, so I'm still doing my PT for that. And so I got things I gotta do. All right, back to the painting. Thanks for talking to me. TikTok has a app that you can get that when people talk, I don't have to look at the screen. It'll make the noise. I wonder if YouTube has something like that, or if there's something out there for YouTube that when I'm on YouTube, it'll if someone types something, it'll say it for me so that I don't have to keep looking at the screen. I don't know. Yes, Sal, I do sell. I guess I already answered that. I'm not cheap though. This one probably would sell for $350 to $400, right in there, unframed. Somewhere in there. If I sell it, I don't know. I painted it because I like it. The roses are giving me trouble. I don't like roses. I'm not enjoying the roses as much as I thought I might. I've never been a huge rose fan as far as painting them. But we'll get there. You'll see me correct and do this and do that and then correct it. Do this and do that and then correct that. All right, this little rose has a dark area right there. It does help that I have pretty good drawing on that one. Whoops, too much paint. I'll have to go darker. Okay. Next dark area. Which one did you? That's got kind of a purple tinge to it. Where's my purple? Man, iridescence. I love me some iridescence. purples. I want to put that. What's over here? No. All right, iridescent purple. We need to use some iridescent purple in there. Okay. Slowly a rose appears. A little bit of color. bit of peach. All right, well, I've been on here for quite a long time, about 78 minutes it says, so I'm going to call it quits. Talk to y'all later. Bye. If I can figure out how to close this.